First and foremost, just want to say, well, really just express my gratitude to the video that we posted last week, talking about the difference between buying and renting. Obviously, if that's something you're interested in, you should get back and check it out. So far, we've had over 5,000 people view that video, so completely blown away. And once again, we just absolutely love hearing your feedback. So particularly during tonight's video, you know, if you like something I say, click the like button. If you love something I say, click love something. If you don't like something I say, click the angry button. And of course, we'd love to hear your feedback. So please feel free to comment on the post below and tell me a little bit about what you think or what you would like me to discuss in future Facebook live broadcasts. So essentially tonight what I want to do is I want to give you a little bit of insight into what the future is going to bring, because we saw some figures released just over the last couple of days by the Australian Bureau of Statistics, and it really does give us some kind of crazy insight into what Australia is going to look like in 40 years' time. So basically the figures that came out were with regards to population growth, what our population is going to be in 40 years' time. And the ABS are now currently projecting that we're going to have over 40 million people living in Australia over the next 40 years, which is absolutely crazy. 2047, you know, we're 24 million people now. 2057, we're going to be 40 million people by that time. Now, of course, what's really important about this is that for many people, the biggest asset that it is that they own is their house. And of course, the biggest driver when it comes to house prices is demand and supply, which is primarily pushed by population growth. So what is this going to mean, and where is this population growth actually going to be happening? Now, most people would probably think that the biggest population growth is going to be in the two major capital cities, being Sydney and that being Melbourne, when in fact the city that's going to see the largest, or the state that's going to see the largest population growth, is actually Western Australia, followed by Queensland, and then Victoria's running in third. So what is it that they're predicting for the future there? Well, with Western Australia, currently they're at 2.6 million people. They're projecting over the next 40 years we're actually going to get to 6.1, which is, we're talking a 3.5 million person increase in population. What does this mean for housing? Well, currently the figures that we have is that on average there's 2.6 people living in a household. Now, of course, as we continue into the future, we're going to see this figure shrink, primarily because, you know, land sizes, apartment sizes are all going to come down. We're going to start to see currently we see more than 60% of households that have two or less people living, and of course the way that we live is moving in that direction. So, but let's forget about that. Let's just take the 2.6 people per household. What does that actually equate to? Well, divided that by 2.6, what that is going to mean is in Western Australia, we're going to need 1.35 million houses over the next 40 years. If we divide that by 40 years, we're talking 33,000 houses a year. Now, I mean, that's way above what we're currently building. It's way above what we've ever built before. So, of course, you know, it points to the demand and the supply factors. What about some of the other states? Well, let's talk about Queensland. They're also going to see massive increases in population in Queensland. Population increase of 4.1 million people over the next 40 years. They're going to go from 4.8 to 8.9. That's 1.6 million people. And of course, 1.6 million houses that are going to need to be built over the next 40 years. You're talking 39,000 houses a year. If we look at Victoria, coming in third, that's going to go from 6 million people to 10 million people. Okay, we're talking another 4 million population increase. That's another 1.5 million houses that are going to need to be built. Which, once again, 38,000 houses a year that every required. Now, let's just take a little bit of a look. Let's go back 40 years and have a look. Now, I mean, 40 years is probably a really good time to look at, because if we look at me individually, I'm almost 40. In fact, I'm having my 40th birthday this year. So what did life look like? And I'm a West Australian born and bred boy. What does 40 years ago look like in Perth? Now, back in Perth, 40 years ago, the median house price in Perth was $14,000. Currently, the median house price in Perth is $515,000. So over that last 40 years, what we've seen is a 3,700% increase in house prices. So just to give you a bit of a sense about the kind of asset value that we've seen increasing over that time, of course, projections are going to probably be pretty similar over the next 40 years as well. So, look, this starts to give us a really good insight into what's coming into the future. Of course, housing affordability is a major issue, but of course, people that aren't able to get into a house, they're going to really get left behind. So if it's something that you've been thinking about, whether it's investing in property, buying your own home, you know, there's never been a better time than now, and it's only going to get harder as we continue to see house prices increase, particularly over the next 10 years of the economic cycle. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, when I say the economic cycle, you can see some of the previous videos where I've talked about the 18-year global land cycle that we see operating and have seen operating every year since 1800. But look, guys, that's really all I wanted to get on and talk to you guys about tonight. Once again, as always, thanks for listening. Keep please providing your feedback. Keep providing subjects that you want me to talk about. If you think this video would be valuable for other people, then please share this video. And of course, everyone, please have a great weekend, and I'll look forward to speaking to you next week. Have a great night, guys. See you later.